Imagine a world where masterpieces are bought for millions, where history is revered and authenticity is paramount. Now imagine that world shaken to its core by a single audacious lie. This is the true story of how one man, with astonishing skill and unparalleled nerve, orchestrated a fraud so vast it redefined the very meaning of art itself. Our journey into this deception begins in 1995. In the quiet elegance of a German art collector's home, a whisper of doubt takes root. He gazes upon a painting acquired a decade earlier, Aragone and Mara, attributed to the respected German expressionist Johannes Moltzahn. But a gnawing suspicion begins to fester. Was it truly genuine? Driven by a need for certainty, he submits the artwork for rigorous scientific analysis. The results arrive swiftly and shatter his illusion. The painting, he learns, is a fake, an elaborate forgery. Anger, a bitter taste of betrayal, spurs the collector into action. He begins a relentless pursuit, tracing other Moltzahn works sold around the same period. One, shockingly, had been acquired by Moltzahn's own widow. Another, by a prominent Berlin gallery owner. Each, upon scrutiny, also proved to be fraudulent. The final damning evidence emerges from a Moltzahn purportedly painted in 1920, yet forensic analysis reveals it contains a pigment, titanium white, that wasn't even invented until 1957, a staggering 37-year chronological impossibility. Armed with this irrefutable proof, the collector approaches the police. An official investigation is launched, swiftly zeroing in on a single Berlin art dealer responsible for selling these counterfeit Moltzahns. But when questioned, the dealer offers only a dead end, attempting to point investigators to a shadowy source he claimed supplied the fakes. Despite their best efforts, the trail goes cold. The elusive source vanishes, and even if they could have found him, it wouldn't have mattered. A legal loophole, the statute of limitations, had expired. The crimes were too old. The forger, it seemed, had gotten away. But what the police didn't know, couldn't possibly fathom, was that these Moltzahn fakes were merely the faintest ripple on the surface. They had been on the verge of uncovering one of the most audacious, multi-million-dollar art fraud scandals in modern history, and the mastermind at its dark heart had just slipped through their fingers. As the Berlin police reluctantly closed their case on the Moltzahn forgeries, roughly 300 miles away, in the quiet German town of Viersen, a different kind of artist was at work. His name was Wolfgang Beltracchi, and he was not merely painting, he was conjuring. In his studio, Beltracchi meticulously applied the final brushstrokes to a canvas he titled Girl with Swan. The canvas itself was authentic, a century-old relic scavenged from a flea market, providing the perfect historical foundation. But what he painted upon it was a brilliant, intricate lie. When it came time to sign his masterpiece, he didn't use his own name. Instead, with a flourish, he inscribed Heinrich Campendonk, another celebrated German expressionist, a contemporary of the very Moltzahn he had so recently faked. His work complete, Wolfgang summoned his wife, Helena, into the room. She was the other half of this formidable duo, the poised and persuasive face of their operation. Her task, to present this newly discovered Campendonk to an unsuspecting art world, starting with Christie's, one of London's most revered auction houses. Christie's, along with Sotheby's, formed the twin pillars of the high-end art market, places where works commanded sums stretching into the millions, sometimes hundreds of millions. The dealer assigned to Helena's painting was impressed. The Campendonk felt right. It looked authentic, but questions lingered beneath the surface. Its provenance, the story of its sudden appearance. And so, Helena began to weave her narrative, a tale as intricate and compelling as any of Wolfgang's paintings. She claimed the painting originated from the collection of Alfred Flechtheim, a renowned German art dealer of the Second World War era. Flechtheim was no invention. He was a real person, a significant figure in pre-war European art. But Helena had no genuine connection to him. As the Nazis rose to power in Germany, they systematically confiscated art deemed degenerate. Modern art, with its rebellious spirit, was a prime target. Jewish artists and collectors like Flechtheim faced brutal persecution. His galleries were seized, his collection plundered. Flechtheim himself fled Germany, leaving behind a legacy shattered by war and hate, the fate of much of his collection lost to history. This, the tragic historical backdrop, was all true. But now, the meticulously crafted lies began. Helena's story painted a different picture. According to her, before his galleries could be fully plundered, Flechtheim had entrusted Ma